Hey there, this is Sandra Edmond, your Queen of Tax Deeds with your Tip Tuesday. So for this Tip Tuesday, I want to go over controlling your tax deed or tax lien schedule. This is very, very important. A lot of times we say to ourselves, oh, if there were only more hours in the day. Well, this is how you begin to let there be more hours in the day, by being in control of your day. One of my most favorite historical figures is Benjamin Franklin. And he has a quote here that I wrote down here to share with you guys, which is, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. That's Benjamin Franklin. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So preparation is key, and setting aside different times of day to do things helps you to add more time to your schedule. So one of the things I want to talk about today is something called time blocking. Some of you may be familiar with it. We're going to talk about how to do it with tax deeds, how to block off your time with tax liens, lands available, real estate as a whole. So what is time blocking? Time blocking is basically just what it sounds like. You are taking a block of time and reserving it for certain tasks, certain types of important tasks that are important to your business, to make sure that you give it the time and the dedication that it deserves. When us in real estate, one of the main things that we always need to make time for are leads. Leads are key to our business. We don't have a business if we don't have new leads coming into the pipeline all the time, and we're not working on our current leads. So for example, you can time block what you're doing as far as working on leads, and that would be working on new leads and old leads. So for example, you can set 2 hours aside in a day to only work on leads. So that means you're not going to be checking your emails, you're not going to be doing social media, you're not going to be answering calls. Unless it's a lead calling in, you may want to answer that phone call. But you just basically put a time on your calendar to work on that time blocked item. And we're going to go through some examples of some time block items you may want to put on yours, and how we do it for tax deeds, and also some of the ones that I do, for example, for mine. So let me see here. I made a list here of some things that you can time block. So one of the things I use to help me with time blocking is a Google Calendar. It is extremely helpful, and you can share it with anybody else, and you can create colors within the calendar, so that way you can make your leads stand out in red or green, and you can make email checking, blue, whatever colors you want to make it. And then you can also put it in the calendar for whatever time or block of time you want to use. Maybe you want to do your leads from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Not 11:30 p.m., but like from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Or maybe you want to pick to do the lead. You want to do leads every day. That's how important they are. But there's some tasks that may not be necessary to do every day. For example, on one of my time block items is reviewing financials. I don't need to do that every day. I usually do that like on a Monday. And sometimes that takes up 4 hours on a Monday to get that done. But that doesn't mean I don't work on my leads as well. So one of the things you want to do that you can time block is your tax deed auction calendar. Exactly. So properties coming up in the tax deed sale are usually listed on a calendar, either on the third-party company's website or on the county's website. So you need to block off some time to be able to go through those calendars to go through those different counties that you're interested in, and pick the auctions that you are going to be interested in bidding on. Or even a lands available list that you want to look at, or tax lien certificate sale list that you want to look at. So once you pick those, then that's going to be one time block, is just picking the counties and what auctions you want to go to. So for example, today is Tuesday. I'm doing this Tip Tuesday. On Thursday, there's a sale going on locally here in the Central Florida area that I'm going to be taking a private 2-day field trip to. So in my time block, when I was looking up auctions, that would have been one that I would have put on my list. Also, you want to look at, you add them onto your list, but you also want to check out as well what properties, I forgot, I lost my train of thought for a second there. You also want to see what are the rules for the different counties that maybe you're interested in. Set aside a block of time to go through the rules for all the counties that you plan on going after for that particular month. So if this is the month of January and you've already decided that you're going to go through 4 or 5 counties, then you want to go through those rules for those counties. And maybe you want to block off a certain amount of time to go over the rules. Driving for dollars, that's another time block item that you can set aside, maybe 2 hours or 3 hours to do driving for dollars, however much time you want to do it. And during that time period, you only do driving for dollars. You don't do anything else. Same thing with lands available and overages. You can also put them on a block of time. But I do want to go through a list of some items here that I did put on a list here are some time block items that you guys can probably do, or some examples of the ones that I also do as well. So let's see here. I did already go over reviewing the tax deed sale list and see. And then at the time that you review the county's calendar for what's coming up in the sale, or when they have sales coming up rather, you can write down which auctions you might be interested in because you see some properties that might be profitable. And then you block, and then later go back to that list of the sales that you're interested in, and then reserve another separate time to start going through the individual properties to see if they really do meet your criteria and that's something you're interested in. And you're going to go forward with doing the due diligence, okay? That's kind of looking at it from a managerial aspect. Pretend as though you're managing yourself and you want to make sure that your employee has good properties to be doing research on. So here are some time blocks that I've listed here that I already mentioned. Some of them to you was like reviewing financials, and that's kind of like going through the bills, QuickBooks and stuff like that, paying bills and cashing checks. Business development, how you can make your business grow, things that you want to change about your business. Review goals and tasks that I have with myself and also with my assistant. Return calls. So I try not to get every single call that comes in. I just block off a certain amount of time to return the phone calls. And I'm fortunate enough that I have someone that can answer a lot of my calls, so I don't have to answer all the calls that come in. But every now and then I'll glance at my phone to see who is calling. And if it's something important, then I will try to answer. But if not, I will answer it during the time block for returning calls. Same thing with text messages too. You shouldn't be answering every single text message that comes in. Also, we got a time block for leads. We discussed that as well. Also, marketing. How much marketing are you doing? And reserve amount of time to do the marketing, because you have to do something with the leads that you have gotten. You're either calling them, you're looking up addresses, you're sending letters, you're doing social media, you're doing internet marketing, something like that. And also administrative and workout and health. I put that as well on my list. Administrative, you want to get some of that done probably a little bit every day so it doesn't add up and take up a whole bunch of your time. And then also lunch, you got to give yourself a break. Go ahead and get something to eat. And then also health related stuff. Me, I just do stuff like doctor's appointments. This is not all in one day. It may be like Friday, I reserve 2 hours to do health related stuff. I'm not doing that every day. And then that could be also figuring out what my groceries are going to be for the week and putting in my order for my groceries, because I use Amazon, the Whole Foods orders. And also working out. I try to work out at least 4 days a week. So I have to time block that, otherwise it doesn't get done. So if you don't pay attention to it, it will not get done. So you can do your time blocking any way you want to. You can assign some things 2 hours, some things are 1 hour, some things 4 hours. Sometimes it might be something so huge that you guys spend the whole day. The very beginning of the year, we didn't get most of our scanning and organizing the office done, and we spent the whole day working on scanning and organizing. Let's see what else here. So anyway, the good thing to do is also just be realistic and then go back and review. How's the time blocking working for you? Maybe you should have allotted 3 hours for leads per day instead of 2 hours, because maybe you realize, wow, this takes a lot longer than I thought. Let me go ahead and make some changes. Okay, so I will put nice little time blocking reference manual or reference page that I found online for you guys on my Facebook page. I'll put a link to it so that you can go ahead and check it out. So please go to the Queen of Tax Deeds Facebook page, and I'll put a nice link there so you can get some more information on what time blocking is and some more details about different types of time blocking and things like that. So as real estate investors, there are some people that are very, very popular in the real estate world, and one of them is Zig Ziglar. Very, very smart man. And he has a really good quote on time management. And he says, lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24 hours a day. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24 hours in a day. That is true. So we need to plan how we're going to use that precious resource, those 24 hours. All right. So we just went through what time blocking is, how you can do it, some examples of some time blocking techniques that you can use specifically for tax deeds, some of the ones that I use. And the best thing that you can do right now is plan when are you going to start time blocking. That's it. Just plan when you're going to start. Give yourself an hour or 2 hours to come up with your time blocking schedule. Don't try to do everything at once. Time block. So the next thing you want to do now going forward is come up with 1 or 2 hours to do your time blocking. All right, so once again, don't forget to go to the Facebook page to see the link that I'm going to put on on some references on time blocking. And don't forget to subscribe and follow and keep up with all the good stuff that you're doing, and happy investing.